Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga prepare for Bennett's last big concert when Tony Bennett's family announced he had Alzheimer's disease last February. Few of the 94-year-old singer's fans imagined they'd ever see him on stage again. But this past summer, with his family's help, he began rehearsing for 2 concerts at Radio City Music Hall, with his friend Lady Gaga. No one knew for sure if Tony would be able to pull it off, but his family believed that Tony's story could give hope to others struggling with Alzheimer's, and invited Anderson Cooper and a 60 Minutes crew to follow him preparing for what would likely be his final act. Anderson Cooper on witnessing Tony Bennett's final act. Tony Bennett has been singing hits and swinging jazz for 7 decades. But for Tony, now, those years are a dim memory, lost in the fog of dementia from Alzheimer's. He spends much of his time in his New York apartment looking through books and old photos. We met Tony and his wife Susan in June, a few weeks before his 95th birthday. Anderson Cooper, do you feel 95? You don't look it. Susan Benedetto, how old do you feel? Tony Bennett, 95. Laughter. Tony has his good moments, but Susan has to do most of the talking. She says he first grew concerned about his memory 6 years ago. Susan Benedetto, we came home one night, and he said, Susan, he said, I'm having a hard time remembering the names of the musicians. And Anderson Cooper, the musicians he was playing with? Susan Benedetto, yeah, on who he works with all the time. And so it was unusual. And I said, well, do you want to go see a doctor about it? And he said, I do. Anderson Cooper, did you know right away that it was Alzheimer's? Dr. Gayatri Devi, yeah. Dr. Gayatri Devi is Tony's neurologist. She diagnosed him in 2017. Anderson Cooper, do you know what is happening in Tony's brain? Dr. Gayatri Devi, no one really knows. But I know that his hippocampus, which is the grand central station of memories and the conduit through which we retrieve memories as well as lay down memories, is not working very well. Susan Benedetto, every day is different. Tony late at night, sometimes early in the morning, he's more alert, if I can use that word. So, I'll tell him, Tone, you're gonna be on 60 Minutes. He's like, great. I said, you remember that show, 60 Min? He's like, I do. But in any other given moment, he won't know. Anderson Cooper, I mean, he recognizes you. Susan Benedetto, he recognizes me, thank goodness. His children, you know, we are blessed in a lot of ways. He's very sweet. He doesn't know he has it. Anderson Cooper, he doesn't know he has Alzheimer's. Susan Benedetto, no. What he does know is that he's at home, not performing on stage. He'd continued to sing after his diagnosis, but the pandemic took him off the road. Susan says it's been hard on him. Susan Benedetto, it was Gayatri Devi, our doctor, who said, if he wants to sing, let him sing, because that's the best thing for him. You know, all the meds and all the treatments they do to stimulate your brain, for him, there's nothing more stimulating than performing. Tony's oldest son and manager, Danny Bennett, came up with the idea of the Radio City concerts in August with Lady Gaga. It was broadcast on CBS this fall. Danny Bennett, the pandemic was a big sigh, it was a big thing for me. And ending his career on that note. Anderson Cooper, it couldn't end that way. Danny Bennett, couldn't end that way. After all that he did. But when it was time to rehearse, something incredible happened. Tony's accompanist, Lee Musiker, began playing, and suddenly the legendary showman was back. He had no notes, no cue cards. We were amazed. All his old songs were somehow still there. He sang an hour-long set from memory. Anderson Cooper, you just start playing something and it's all there. Lee Musiker, when I start playing, Tony is completely engaged, and this is a whole new performance and new phrases, new nuance. Nothing short of a miracle. Dr. Gayatri Devi explained how a transformation like that was possible. Dr. Gayatri Devi, people respond differently depending on their strengths. In Tony's case, it's his musical memory, his ability to be a performer. Those are an innate and hardwired part of his brain. So even though he doesn't know what the day might be or where his apartment is, he still can sing the whole repertoire of the American songbook and move people. Anderson Cooper, how does music